enter the mountain pass at 9 a.m., hours seem to pass. But when you emerge on the other side, your watch still reads 9 a.m., yet 3 days have vanished from your life. This isn't science fiction. This is the documented reality of a mountain pass in the American West, where dozens of travelers have reported the same impossible phenomenon: lost time, missing days, and memories that don't match the calendar. 6 men have died pursuing its secret. Hundreds have lost days of their lives. And the survivors all ask the same terrifying question: if you can't remember those lost days, what happened during them? Chapter 1. The First Disappearance, 1952. The Jameson Family. On July 14, 1952, the Jameson family, Robert, 35, Margaret, 32, and their 2 children, Tommy, 8, and Susan, 6, left Salt Lake City for Reno, Nevada, a simple 2-day drive. They never arrived. 5 days later, Highway Patrol found them at a rest stop, confused and insisting they'd only stopped a few minutes ago. Robert's watch had stopped at 9:47 a.m. on July 14th. So had Margaret's, so had the car clock. But it was now July 19th, 5 full days later, the impossible timeline. The family remembered leaving at 6 a.m., driving through the mountain pass around 9:30 a.m., stopping for pictures at a scenic overlook, continuing through and stopping for lunch. Total time in their memory, 4 hours. Reality, 5 days and 3 hours had passed. The evidence was undeniable. Empty fuel tank, started full. 340 extra miles on odometer. Tommy's shoes worn through. Susan had a scar neither parent could explain. Their camera contained 27 photos. They remembered taking only 5. The extra photos showed places they didn't recognize. Dense forests at night, strange rock formations, and one photo showed the inside of their car, all 4 family members asleep. Someone else had taken the picture. Medical exams revealed dehydration consistent with several days, 3 to 5 pounds weight loss each, sunburn despite overcast weather, soil under Margaret's nails that didn't match Utah or Nevada. The family genuinely believed only hours had passed. They weren't lying. They weren't crazy. They were simply wrong about time itself. The case was closed as unexplained. The Jamesons moved to Florida and never spoke of it again. But they weren't the last. Chapter 2. The pattern emerges, 1952-1970. More victims, same story. September 1955, the truck driver. Dale Hendricks left Reno on September 3rd with a September 5th delivery deadline in Denver. He arrived September 9th, 4 days late, with no memory of missing time. His logbook had entries for the missing days in his own handwriting, documenting a normal journey that never happened in our timeline. June 1958, the honeymooners, Frank and Dorothy. Chen drove through the pass on June 12th. They remember arriving that afternoon. The cabin owner remembers them arriving June 15th, 3 days later. Dorothy's ring had 3 days of tarnish.
Frank had 3 days of beard growth. Both insisted they'd left yesterday. April 1963, the Boy Scout troop. 15 people, 12 boys and 3 adult leaders, entered the pass at 10 a.m. On April 8th, they emerged at 10:15 a.m. by their watches, on what they believed was still April 8th. It was April 11th, 3 days later. Parents had filed missing persons reports. Search and rescue was deploying, yet all 15 insisted only 15 minutes had passed. All watches stopped between 10:15 a.m. The bus had burned a full tank of gas. Emergency food supplies were gone, empty. Wrappers suggesting multiple meals no one remembered eating. The geographic truth. By 1965, Highway Patrol Officer James Morrison discovered something crucial. Every incident occurred in the same 23-mile stretch between mile markers 47 and 70. Not the whole mountain, just that specific section. Morrison began unofficial records and found the pattern. The rules only happened traveling eastbound, west to east. Time loss, 18 hours to 6 days. Average, 3.2 days. Victims always believed less time passed than actually had. Watches and clocks always stopped. No memories of missing time. Physical evidence suggested normal activity during lost time. Many had unexplained injuries. The acceleration, 1952-1960, 8 cases. 1961-1965, 14 cases. 1966-1970, 23 cases. The phenomenon was getting worse. Morrison's disappearance. In 1968, Morrison's investigation caught government attention. A man with no ID contacted him, gave him a phone number, told him to report anything new. 2 months later, commercial traffic through the pass dropped 70%. The highway was rerouted for maintenance, but no maintenance ever happened. In 1970, James Morrison disappeared investigating the pass. His patrol car was found 3 weeks later at mile marker 52, his last radio transmission. I can see something in the fog. It's not possible. I'm going to. Transmission ended. His watch stopped at 2:49 p.m. On March 14th. His body was never found. In his case file, one final note dated that morning. I figured out the pattern. It's not random. Something is deliberately taking people, and I think I know why. If I don't return, look for... The sentence ended mid-word, pen trailing off the page. Chapter 3, The Scientific Investigation, 1971. Dr. Catherine Wells' Experiment. In 1971, MIT physicist Dr. Catherine Wells assembled a team to study the past scientifically. They drove through in a van equipped with 5 atomic clocks, synchronized, never drift, constant radio contact with base station, multiple cameras recording everything, medical monitoring, GPS tracking. By July 15th, 1971. Team enters at mile marker 47, 7:38 a.m., last clear transmission. The fog is moving against the wind. And the clocks? All 5 atomic clocks are showing different times now. That's not possible. That's static. 10:17 a.m. Team emerges. They believe 42 minutes passed.
Reality, 3 hours, 17 minutes passed. But the atomic clocks, which should never disagree, each showed different times. Clock 1, 42 minutes, team's perception. Clock 2, 3 hours, 17 minutes, reality. Clock 3, 6 hours, 3 minutes. Clock 4, 12 seconds. Clock 5, stopped completely. That's impossible, Dr. Wells said. Atomic clocks don't do that. We're dealing with multiple simultaneous time flows. The camera evidence. 4 cameras captured the journey. The footage was disturbing. Dashboard cam shows fog moving in geometric patterns. At minute 31, something large passes in front, not a vehicle, not an animal, shape unclear. Interior cam at 28 minutes. All 4 team members simultaneously turn to look at the passenger window. Their expressions change from curiosity to confusion to fear. Dr. Kim reaches to touch something. Footage glitches. When it returns, 2 seconds later, team faces forward, acting normal. None remembered this moment. Exterior cam shows fog-forming walls, corridors, rooms like the van is driving through the interior of a massive structure made of fog, glimpses of impossible geography, forests where deserts should be, mountains on flat terrain. At one point, the camera captures another vehicle in the side mirror, driving parallel through the fog, matching their speed perfectly. When Dr. Torres looked in the mirror, visible on interior camera, he saw nothing. The vehicle in the footage was identical to their van. Sir Dr. Wells' private conclusion. Her official report was cautious, but her personal journal revealed her true thoughts. We're dealing with multiple time streams existing simultaneously. The camera showing impossible. Geography suggests dimensional displacement. The van moves through alternate versions of the same location. But the terrifying possibility, what if time isn't being lost? What if those hours are being experienced but memories are suppressed? The injuries, consumed food, depleted fuel all suggest activity during missing time. What were those people doing? And who were they with? Chapter 4, The Disappearances, 1985-2003. Dr. Wells' final journey. On October 12, 1985, Dr. Wells drove through the pass alone, carrying only a voice recorder. It's 3:47 p.m. I'm entering the pass. The phenomenon isn't random, it's selective. It took Morrison because he figured something out. Some people it returns, but some it keeps. 73 people have vanished, completely near this pass since 9:52. All entered alone. All were investigating or had experienced it before. I think it's intelligent. I think it's choosing victims. And I think, pause, wind sounds. Oh God, the fog. It's shaped like a corridor, like it's inviting me in, like it wants me to. Static silence. Dr. Wells was never seen again. Her car was found 6 months later at mile marker 58, perfectly parked, doors locked. The recorder was on the dashboard, recording silence for 3 weeks until the battery died. The Survivor, 2003. In March 2003, Elena Martinez walked out of the pass. She disappeared while hiking near it in July 1997, nearly 6 years earlier. She insisted she'd been gone a few weeks, maybe a month. Medical evidence told a different story. Malnutrition consistent with months. Healing fractures 3 years old, no memory of injuries. She looked exactly as she should after 6 years, but believed only weeks had passed. Sorry, Elena's account. I was hiking. The fog came, but it wasn't fog. It was solid like walls. I was inside before I realized. There were others, maybe 20 people. Some said they'd been there days. One man claimed since the 1960s but looked 40. He said time didn't work the same inside. We were in a version of the past, but wrong. The road looped. Walk east for an hour, end up where you started. Every mile marker was 58, every single one. We could see cars drive past. We'd scream, wave. They drove straight through us like we weren't there. People disappeared, one by one. One morning, 20 of us, next morning, 18. Just gone. Then I found a gap in the fog. Pushed through. Suddenly on the real road, 6 years gone. 6 years. But I swear I was only there weeks. The worst part? Sometimes I have flashes, memories that don't fit. Me in that place, but years older. Me with people I don't recognize. Doing things I never did. What if the few weeks I remember was real, but the 6 years also happened? What if I lived 2 timelines simultaneously and only remember one? What if I'm still there, and this is just the timeline I can remember? Chapter 5, The Modern Investigation, 2016. About the drone experiment. In 2016, amateur investigators called TARS, Temporal Anomaly Research Society, tried something new, sending drones through the pass instead of people. On June 5, 2016, they launched 12 drones to fly the 23-mile stretch. Expected time, 46 minutes. Results: 3 drones, 42 minutes, normal. 2 drones, 3 hours, 14 minutes. 1 drone, 18 seconds. 3 drones returned 4 days later. 3 drones never returned. The 18-second drone. This drone's footage was most disturbing. It showed a normal 46-minute flight, but with temporal glitches. Timestamps jumped forward hours, then back. The landscape flickered between seasons. At minute 31, the camera captured something in a clearing below. Dozens of people, standing in a perfect circle. The drone was too high for faces, but infrared showed their heat signatures clearly. They weren't moving, just standing. At minute 30, the clearing was empty. At minute 31, dozens appeared instantly. At minute 32, gone. Between minute 30 and 31, according to the atomic clock. 3 days passed by, noted the physicist. They're existing in compressed time. They experience 3 days as 1 minute. The late returning drones. 3 drones returned 14 days late. Their GPS logs were impossible. Drone 7 flew in a straight line but passed through the same coordinates 473 times without turning. Drone 9 visited Nevada, Colorado, Wyoming while never leaving the pass area. Drone 11 descended 3,000 feet underground while camera showed normal altitude. All footage showed the same thing. At intervals, the landscape would shift and flicker, change, reveal different topography, snap back, and in every shift, people visible, standing still, waiting. The theory. Physicist Dr. James Park concluded, the pass exists in multiple temporal states simultaneously. Travelers slip between timelines running at different rates. Some faster, an hour feels like days. Some slower, days feel like hours. Some loop, time moves, but location stays fixed. But these alternate timelines aren't empty. They're populated. The people aren't ghosts, they're real people trapped in alternate timelines who can't get back. The question isn't where does time go? It's which timeline are the missing people living in? And are they aware they're missing? On Chapter 6, The Warning, 2019. Ike, the transmission. On December 17, 2019 at 2:47 a.m., every emergency frequency within 100 miles received the same transmission. A static woman's voice. This is Dr. Catherine Wells. If anyone receives this, listen carefully. I didn't die in 1985. I've been here the entire time. 34 years for you. For me. Pairs of movement sounds. I've lost count. Time doesn't work here. The pass isn't a place. It's a threshold. Something on the other side is collecting people, not randomly, selectively. Don't enter alone. Don't enter if you've been through before. Don't enter if you know too much. It's watching. It knew Morrison. It knew me. Tell them to stop. Tell them. Different voice, male, angry. Catherine, step away from the... Static ends. The voice was analyzed. It matched Dr. Wells's 1971 voice print. But if she was alive, she'd be 89 years old. The voice sounded maybe 50. Time didn't work the same way in there. The Chapter 7, The Expedition 2020. Us, the rescue mission. In September 2020, a government-supervised expedition entered the pass. 12 volunteers, military equipment, live satellite tracking. Mission: find the trapped people, bring them home. Tenniskodem, September 12th. Entry at mile marker 47. 10:38 a.m. Video shows vehicles no longer on road, in an open space, fog walls surrounding them. 10:50 a.m. Team sees figures in the distance. Elena Martinez, that's Morrison, and Dr. Wells. 10:52 a.m. Dr. Wells speaks to them. You shouldn't have come. We tried to warn you. We're not prisoners. We're guardians. We're holding the door closed. 11:07 a.m. Team leader. We're experiencing temporal bifurcation. We exist in multiple timelines simultaneously. In all communications cease. The return. 18 hours later, all 3 vehicles emerged at mile marker 70. 12 team members exited, stood in a line and waited. They looked exactly as when they entered, no changes. Clean clothes, no beard growth, but their cameras showed they'd been gone like 89 days. When questioned, all 12 gave identical responses, same words, same inflection simultaneously. We entered at 10:38 a.m., spent 4 hours in the liminal space. Determined rescue was inadvisable. Exited at 2:30 p.m., total time 4 hours. There is no footage. We were gone for 4 hours. But there was footage. 89 days worth, not what the cameras showed. Days 1-7 normal exploration. Team acting independently. Days 8-14, footage fragments. Team moving in synchronized patterns, identically like 12 copies of one person. Days 15-30. Team in deeper levels, actual buildings visible. Roads a town, but wrong. Buildings with no doors. Roads that loop. A town with no people except shadows. Days 31-45. Team building something geometric massive. They stand around it, hands linked, chanting in an unidentified language. At the center, fog forms a doorway. Days 61-75. The door is open. Through it, glimpses of something beyond that cameras can't focus on. Geometry that shouldn't exist. Dr. Wells appears with maybe 100 others. She speaks to the cameras. If you're watching this, the expedition succeeded. Not to escape, to seal the door. It was opened from the other side decades ago, pulling people in, widening the gap. We've been holding it closed from inside. The expedition team has chosen to stay. They've seen what's on the other side. They understand why it must stay closed. The versions that returned are echoes, copies. They'll live normal lives, never knowing they left pieces behind. Their true selves remain here, holding the door closed. Tell our families we're alive. Tell them it was our choice. And tell them don't come looking. If too many force their way in, the door might open all the way. And if it does, you'll understand why we stayed. Days 76-89. 12 team members take positions around the door. Wells and others form an outer ring. Together, 120 people all standing in formation. The door begins to close slowly. The last frame shows it almost closed, just a thin crack. Through that crack, something vast, something that doesn't belong in our reality. Cameras stop? Boy, Chapter 8, The Truth We Live With. Earthstone today, 2024. The 12 expedition members resumed normal lives. They have no memory of 89 days. When shown the footage, they express confusion. What footage? We were gone 4 hours. They genuinely don't remember. The echoes truly believe they were only gone briefly. The mountain pass remains. The phenomenon continues. Reports still come, though less frequently. Word has spread.